Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode number 167. I'm Owen the Birdman, Finch, the host, and I'm here with.
El Vagabundo. I said it once and I'll say it again. I'm El Vagabundo, and what it means is what I am.
So, is that your nickname on every podcast you're gonna be on until you get bored of it,
Yeah.
or forget about it again? Um,
Been a long time.
yeah,
I said it
and
consistently.
we're actually doing like a regular rundown, like we're reviewing Raw, SmackDown, to 205, because you haven't done that in a while. So,
And not fucking 6 shows at one time.
yeah, so that's exciting. But before we get to that, we have a special announcement. It's so special, I forgot to announce it on the last episode. We're putting in a new championship to the Wrestling Rundown, mainly because, John Tuddy doesn't want to defend the Wrestling Rundown Predictions Heavyweight Championship, so why not bring in a new championship? It's not like you're never going to see the Wrestling Rundown title ever again. He's just going to defend it. The next title defense he'll have is at AEW Full Gear, so that will be exciting. But this championship is going to be different than the Wrestling Rundown Predictions Heavyweight Championship. This championship can be defended. It's not going to be like the 24/7 title, but it can be defended on Raws, SmackDowns, 205s, NXT UKs, which because of Cardiff might not happen now, unless like someone else that liked Cardiff's the champion. Regular episodes of NXT's, AEW's TV shows, any other Indies TV show. Basically, if you're watching that product and you want to defend that title, you can. If you're watching Main Event and want to defend it on Main Event, you can.
No one's going to do it. No one's going to.
Yeah.
No one's going to.
Can you imagine
forfeit?
Can you imagine someone loses the championship on Main Event? Like, but we need to find a way.
On that show.
But we need to find a way to crown the first ever champion, because obviously we can't just like hand someone over a championship. This isn't 2002 with the World Heavyweight Championship. That doesn't happen here.
Or how the 24/7 championship was created.
Yeah, we don't do that here.
We just put the belt on the ground and the first person who picks it up is champion.
Yeah, that was stupid. So we're gonna have a tournament to crown the first ever champion. But I noticed, and here was the participant that will be in the tournament. Obviously me, James Hebert, Chris Dodd, Steve Coakley. I actually misspelled his name. I spelled it COACKLEY, so that's bad. So
I thought you were going to say his name was Steve Cockley for a second.
Yeah, I almost did. It's me, James Hebert, Chris Dodd, Steve Coakley, John Tuddy, Noah Foster, Christopher Mace, Christopher Willis, Michael Nikos, Michael X, and Casey Gallagher. Obviously, everyone's questioning what's going on, though. There's only 11 people in the tournament. How are we going to determine seeding? So I'm going to basically come up with the brackets, basically how I see fit the best matchups will be. But someone's going to get a bye because there's an odd number of people in there, so someone's not going to have a match. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this list, cut it up, and put it into a hat or something, and whoever's name gets picked will get the bye in the tournament. Whoever gets the bye will get the advantage. And since Clash of Champions is this Sunday, we're gonna have like a tournament. So the first match will take place at Clash of Champions, and then it's gonna be at NXT's first show. There'll be another match in the tournament, and then at AEW's first show there'll be a match, and then on the second show. And I'm hoping that me and Chris don't get the bye in a sense, because I want me and Chris to have a match on the AEW October 9th show that we're going to. That would be, because, then we'll be, like, sitting live at the arena, like, looking at each other, like, with intenseness. And, yeah, whoever wins becomes the first ever champion. I don't know where the finals will take place, considering the fact that, there's still a lot of shows to go, and I don't know who's facing who yet, so I gotta look into that. But yeah, we're definitely too gonna have bracketology. I'm gonna sit down and go over each participant in the tournament. And it would just be fun. We've never done a tournament before. We've done best of 3 series where I've lost 2 times in a row. We've done we've done a big multi-person matches for the titles, so this is something new we can do for the show. And yeah, I don't know when the finals will take place, but it all depends on when the shows happen. So we'll see. Anything you want to say though about this tournament, Chris, before we start with the regular scheduled wrestling rundown programming?
It's an exciting time. New championship, new format.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. You could be the first champion.
I could be the first champion, and
I could be the first. I could be the
not
first.
You, it's me. I already called it. I already said I'm gonna be the first champion. So it automatically makes me the first champion.
Can you imagine the first champions like Christopher Willis, who's never been on a rundown, who hasn't been on a rundown yet to this date, or like someone who hasn't been on, like Steve Coakley,
Steve Coakley hasn't been on an actual wrestling rundown in like fucking 7 months.
Yeah, and he becomes the first champion.
Maybe longer than that. Because it was one of the first episodes we did.
Yeah.
When he was driving around.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get on.
Now that we've done that, let's get to the weekly episodic main roster program, and we're gonna start from Raw last week because that happened first. So it makes sense to do it that way. We're not gonna go in reverse order. That makes no sense. So, Chris, you want to take us through last week's episode of Monday Night Raw?
Yeah. To the best of my recollection, it happened to be on September 2nd, 2019. That's a Monday. It's called Monday Night Raw, so it has to happen on Monday.
Yes.
And the commentators for this week, or always are, and potentially could change. So I in the next month or so.
Yep.
Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Renee Young. This week they didn't break character, so surprisingly. Nope. Raw kicked off this week in the ring with Michael Cole for a contract signing. These always go so well, these contract signings. It basically, the gist of it is, they're having 2 matches on Clash of Champions, and they basically just wanted to sign a contract, which they could have done in private, and an interruption wanted to happen. Oh, wait a minute, it happened!
Yeah.
And the OC come out, and AJ rips up the contract. But and then they could do anything, Braun throws a table at AJ. And then I almost maybe die laughing.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was great.
I loved AJ's promo too, where he basically just talked about how someone could just look at my United States Championship and get a title match, and he warns Gallows and Anderson don't look at my championship. We'll have to have a title match of that.
That's like something that we would say.
Yeah. Or when he said, I don't even have an opponent yet for a Clash of Champions, and he basically made fun of Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler that they're getting a title shot when they were a makeshift tag team. It's pretty
shitting on the makeshift tag team already. It's very makeshift. Then didn't they basically announce a match for later on in the night between them? Tag team match.
It was the next segment, yeah. It was Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman versus Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson.
Which ended a big schmoz. As the said makeshift tag team came out, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And they beat the shit out of Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman.
Yes.
At one point, before that had happened, there was a bit of a miscommunication. Braun was doing his shoulder tackles, and he accidentally floored Seth Rollins, which Seth took a mean-ass looking bump. That was awesome. But anyways, they just got the shit beaten out of him. Braun tried to fight him off, but it didn't happen. They just beat the crap out of him.
Yeah. You did forget, too, even with the interference, Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman still ended up beating Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. So really, really doing a great job making the OC look strong right there. So
very strong. The
um,
strong.
they're so strong. And I want to mention something too, that big brawl too the Viking Raiders, Gallows and Anderson had wasn't followed up with at all this week. So
it wasn't followed up. They went right back to beating up jobbers again.
yeah,
Uh,
I thought these segments were. I didn't like the contract signing, and it's just typical WWE in a nutshell. So
yeah, exactly.
was not a fan
It's
of
all
this.
right, I guess. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, but tonight, because we are filming this on the day of Monday Night Raw, it's happening at 8 o'clock. It's about 1 o'clock right now in the
Yeah.
afternoon, and Stone Cold is officiating, or whatever the fuck it is. I can't think of the terminology right now. He's going to be hosting the contract signing, the moderator of the contract signing.
I always think of that TNA segment where it's
He's the modifier.
Yeah, the modifier.
But that's happening tonight, and
yeah,
it's going to end up in a pull apart brawl, almost guaranteed.
Yep.
Cedric Alexander's backstage, and he's getting interviewed about his upcoming King of the Ring match, and the OC just beat the shit out of him. Don't know why, but they beat the shit out of him.
Yep.
And so he's going to that match hurt. He had some form of an arm injury that they were storytelling.
Yeah.
And then they cut back to the ring, and Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler are in the ring, and Dolph's music is randomly playing for no reason, even though they were already in the ring.
Yeah, I don't know why that was.
And they faced the Job Squad 2.0 of Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
A fairly decent match, but again, they just put Roode and Ziggler together. They're competing for the tag titles at Clash of Champions, and of course, they're not going to lose this match. They're going to win.
No way. Yeah.
And they didn't. And so they won.
Yes. I do like the tag team so far. It's just they shouldn't be getting a tag team title match over Gallows and Anderson right now.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
If they had been the next contenders, I wouldn't have been mystified with it as I am.
So Matt, he's hitting his camera. So
yes.
I do like the finish, like the tag team finish they have, where Ziggler does the super kick into the glorious DDT. That's quite good. So
yeah, I mean it's nice, but
yes. And I did like the backstage beatdown of Cedric Alexander, because it's setting up a feud obviously between AJ Styles and Cedric Alexander. So
potentially tonight they could announce a match for Clash of Champions if they go in that direction.
Well, they're having a match tonight actually.
Okay.
So
potentially could have a match on Sunday too.
Yes.
Should be a good one.
Yes.
Lacey Evans versus Natalya. Ugh, I have to read this now too.
Yeah, gotta read that.
This match absolutely sucked balls, not because of Natalya, but because of Lacey Evans.
Yes.
And she won with a punch. Fantastic. No one cares.
I think it was funny too, like she uses the distraction as like her cloth that she comes down to the ring with, and that somehow that distracted Natalya. Like she got a cloth thrown at her.
It's like when a feather is floating around in the air and people are distracted by it.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I fucking hate Lacey Evans. Not because she's a heel, because she's terrible.
Yes. And then
I always go back to when she sandbagged Bayley so many fucking times when she tried to hit her with the Bayley to belly. She fucking just completely sandbagged her on it.
Yep.
And she's like, first of all, you jump with her. You jump. When Bayley picks you up, you jump. You don't fucking just stand there and it looks like she's falling over.
Yeah.
It's made to look like it actually hurts you, not like, oh, I'm just falling over to the ground now.
Yep.
Awful. But next, Becky Lynch comes out and cuts a promo on Sasha Banks. Great promo. Don't remember everything she said. It was a great promo.
She basically called out Sasha Banks too, saying right when you got to the main roster, you got all the main events, you just couldn't deliver.
That's actually in some ways very true.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch was so far pushed to the back of the line
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even funny. And, like, Sasha was given all these opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. She either, A, under-delivered or kept getting hurt.
Yeah. And then the funny part is she even talked about how Sasha Banks got flowers after one of her matches. So there's that.
When she get nothing.
Yeah. She didn't even get that after she main evented WrestleMania. So
And exactly. And she called Becky a bitch. Ooh, wow.
she
I
mentioned
hated that. And then Becky was just, like, still talking on the mic.
Yeah.
Like, the entire time.
She mentioned too how like Becky Lynch only got like pushed to the main event of WrestleMania because she got her face broken. So it's like I wish I could have got my face broken because I would have made it to the main event of WrestleMania. Let's be honest, if that was there was no way that was gonna happen. Becky was because Becky was already over anyways. So
like, to be honest, like her getting her face broken made it more interesting. But she was getting the rocket ship to the main event regardless.
Yeah.
She was supposed to have a match with Ronda Rousey at fucking Survivor Series. They could have done a smash finish there.
Yeah.
And then just carried it over and done the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Moving into WrestleMania.
So nothing really changed. So
yeah, nothing. Honestly, like nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
Maybe she would have won the title. I don't know. Like.
Yeah.
But it's a very good promo.
Yes.
Very good back and forth. This feud's actually very interesting.
Yes.
Like, not because of the fact that it's a 4 horsewomen match, but because they're both very talented people and they're both very talented wrestlers and should be a very good feud and match. And
yeah, because the match was made official at Clash of Champions.
And speaking of matches tonight, we are getting the Boston Hug Connection versus Charlotte and Becky. Interesting. I'm actually really interested in that match because it's like, Charlotte and Becky fucking despised each other on television, despised each other, and had this big blood feud.
Yeah. Can you imagine though? Awesome. They just come out like nothing happened, like
come out like best friends again, like hey.
Yeah. Because that's because that happened before with like Roman Reigns and like that happened with like the Shield when they got back together. Like they just pretended like Dean Ambrose didn't really do anything. He's just like Roman Reigns wanted to team up with the guy that called him out for having leukemia, pretty much. So
exactly. But then they cut to the Street Profits, and this is fucking hysterical. I mean, they're eventually gonna have to wrestle, but like the backstage promos are awesome, and it just cuts them to like where Montez Ford takes off his glasses and just stares up into the air, like shocked at what just happened.
Yeah,
it made me laugh. They're fucking hilarious.
They're awesome.
A+. No words were even said. A+ backstage segments.
Yes.
They're just so charismatic. They don't even need to fucking say anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Because they're basically done in NXT now because they just lost the titles not 2 weeks ago on NXT. So
yeah, so they could be in line for either a rematch at a future takeover, or they can go to the main roster.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I don't know where they're going with them at this point.
Yeah.
I thought them being on the main roster when they were brought up to do these segments, I thought they would almost do kind of like what they did with Ciampa and Gargano, like have them wrestle instantly. But this is actually better.
Yeah.
I actually really like those backstage segments. It actually kind of, if Raw's in like a bit of a lull, like you put them in there and it's like, it gives you something to laugh about.
Exactly, yeah.
Next was the King of the Ring quarterfinals match between Baron Corbin and Cedric Alexander.
Yep.
It's a fairly good match. A fairly good match.
It's probably Baron Corbin's best match he's ever had.
Mainly because of the person to the right named Cedric Alexander of this graphic.
Yes.
Mainly because it's him and the fact that he was, going to the match hurt and made the match more interesting. But Cedric lost and Baron's moving on. Fairly good match though.
Yes.
Bayley's interviewed next, and she.
And Baron Corbin won. He advanced in the tournament, so.
Boo.
Yep.
And Bayley is interviewed next about. Didn't she talk about like not taking like a backseat to anyone?
Yeah, so it was like it was building up possibility of what was going to happen in the main event.
And it kind of led to something.
Yep.
The War Machine Viking Raiders experience.
Yeah, we don't know what they are this week.
Beat Jobbers again. So that was just a mirage. You didn't actually see them compete against actual superstars in an actual match.
They're not allowed to do that, no.
Squiggity squash match.
Yeah.
Fucking. I'm losing interest in them by the week if they keep on doing this.
I know, yeah, because they should have been wrestling like real wrestlers by now.
Yeah, like that gauntlet tag team match that they competed in. That should have been their ascension up the ladder into facing actual tag teams. And they faced Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, legitimate tag team.
Yeah.
And then they went right back to the no-name people again.
Yep, there you go. So there you go.
See, I don't mind them like doing what Ziggler and Rude did and beat Hawkins and Ryder because it's better. Like aesthetically, it's better to see them face an actual tag team than to face a bunch of local no-name indie talent.
Yeah.
I don't even know what was Sasha Banks' thing again.
Sarah Schreiber, she didn't even she was hiding behind some boxes or something and came up and interviewed her and Sasha Banks and tried to ask her a question and Sasha Banks yelled at her to get out of her face and I don't like Sarah Schreiber, so I loved it.
Yeah, I don't even remember that at all.
Because Sarah Schreiber's not good.
She's bland.
Yeah.
I can't even believe she got fast tracked to the main roster.
Do you ever watch?
So bland.
Do you ever watch occasionally they'll put segments of fans saying the wrestlers nicknames and stuff, and sometimes sometimes she'll accidentally say the wrestler's name, so she has to move on, and at that point it's not going to count towards anything. Or sometimes the fan will just ask what she didn't hear what you said, but she'll just move on to the next person. No, he wasn't saying he didn't know. He wasn't saying he didn't know what it was. You needed to repeat yourself.
A lot of them will say they'll make a comment about turning up the volume on the microphone.
Yeah.
Because they can't fucking hear a word that's coming out of the microphone.
Yeah. I think it's funny. Because I remember that was a whole thing we laughed about because no one knew the nicknames of, because it's the Monster Among Men are it's nicknames you hear every week.
It's Kane.
Yeah.
It's CM Punk.
Yeah. Actually, one time
someone did say that though. Someone did say CM Punk, the best of the world. Man, that was shot down real quick.
Yeah, they had to. They had to take down. They couldn't upload that one.
He's not the best in the world.
Nope.
That would belong to Shane, not on television, McMahon.
And we'll get into that. I like to. I bet if you and me took the quiz, we would totally say CM Punk too.
I would say CM Punk, and I would say the wrong names. If they asked me who the Monster Among Men was, I would say Lacey Evans.
And I bet you'd say the opposite, right? The sassy Southern Belle, you would say Braun Strowman.
Kane.
Oh my! Kane's the sassy Southern Belle.
Getting sassy.
Anyhow.
Ricochet versus Samoa Joe in a match to determine who moves on to face Blandy Baron Borston.
Yep.
In a King of the Ring quarterfinal match up.
Yep.
This is a very, very good match, but people won't remember the match. They'll remember the finish, where Ricochet. Well, they did the top rope move, right?
Yeah, like a back suplex or something.
And they They were on their backs, and it was a double count.
Yeah.
And with John Cone, the referee, whose son actually is tag team champions with Braun Strowman at one point.
Yeah.
He went to the outside, and he had like a live mic on too at the same time, where they kind of went, well, like what they do in football for reviews and challenges and stuff. They'll go under the hood and look at.
It wasn't much of a review. They didn't show a replay, nothing. He's like, yeah.
And he put the headset on, and he was like, yep, okay, yep, okay. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And he just walks away and he goes, we haven't made the decision yet. We haven't made a decision yet.
Yeah.
We'll decide later. What?
This made no.
It's like, what the hell? Just go to fucking double count, restart the match, and then move on.
Yeah. I don't know what they did this for. I heard they did this because they want to make Ricochet look stronger next week by, beating both Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin. But
and they made it basically, I combined all those into one. Corey Graves interviewed John Cone, and John Cone basically, Corbin was celebrating like he got a bye.
Yeah.
And, basically, John Cone said, no, you're going to be in a triple threat match next week to determine who moves on.
I didn't like any of this because the King of the Ring tournament, tournaments shouldn't have finishes like this. Like there should be clean finishes.
Yeah, it was definitely it definitely brought the quality of the match down.
Yeah.
They could have easily just shown the replay in the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
And said, okay, double count, match isn't over. This ruling was nullified.
Yeah.
Restart the match from this point.
Because
move on.
Because Ricochet could have just won anyways. Because afterwards, he just laid out Joe with the weird coil anyways. So it's like.
So basically, he got the upper hand. You could just have him win.
Yeah.
And then move on, and he faces Corbin. But I guess I don't know. It's weird. If he loses next week, tonight, it's all for nothing, basically.
Yeah. Especially too, it's really funny too, because Baron Corbin has a point. Like he should get a bye in the tournament because that's how tournaments work.
Yeah. Basically, Joe's eating the pin regardless of who's winning the match.
Yeah. So why does it matter?
So either way, Baron Corbin or Ricochet are protected regardless.
Yeah.
Because Joe is 100% eating the pin.
But you could protect him by just having an awesome King of the Ring match, and Joe just came this close to winning. That's what they did with that's what they did with Drew McIntyre last week. So
yeah, exactly. They could have easily had just done a Ricochet gets not like a fluky victory, but a roll up.
Yeah.
On Joe, and Joe's surprise, Joe's dominating for the majority of the match, and Ricochet just rolls him up and gets the win.
Guess that wasn't allowed tonight. They had to maybe because football is starting up. They wanted to have a football element. Maybe because Vince is so obsessed with XFL right now. Leave that crap out. Leave that crap out of. Get that crap out of here.
Oh, get it out of here. It's a crap.
Yeah.
But anyway, Seth Rollins was backstage, and I forget what this was too.
This is pretty much, you already covered it. It was basically Braun Strowman threatened that Stone Cold Steve Austin would get these hands because he thinks that Stone Cold Steve Austin's biased towards Seth Rollins because of that Skype call they had.
Oh my God, they're fucking bringing that up again. I fucking forgot about that.
Yeah.
He picked you as his favorite. So then automatically he's going to favor you now instead.
Yeah.
I don't know why a monster would care about that.
Yeah.
Especially monster.
Stone Cold doesn't tie into the match other than just signing the contract.
I know, the Firefly Flunflaus was next. This was great.
Fantastic.
This is phenomenal. Basically, Bray Wyatt bragging that he's money, which he is.
Yeah.
And he, the puppet, evil Vince McMahon came out, and Bray started feeding him money because his gimmick is money. So
Yeah.
and it was actually funny because Ramblin' Rabbit had a fucking sign up that said "Help me," and Bray was like pushed him to the side.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Fucking laugh hysterically.
I love too because they basically brought up the reports because there was reports coming out that Bray Wyatt's wrestling for the Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell, and pretty
He
much
basically confirmed it. Like,
yeah, he just because he says to Seth or Braun, "See you in hell." So pretty much I don't really care who wins the Clash of Champions as long as Bray Wyatt wins that Universal Championship at Hell in a Cell. I think it's too soon though for him to get a title match.
It's too soon for him to get a title match, considering the fact that he's had one match in about 3 months.
Yeah,
or coming on 3 months by the time that Hell in a Cell.
and especially too like that means like with him being the champion, like I think his gimmick's doing like I feel like they should delay it till WrestleMania because that would be a bigger moment if his character won the title at WrestleMania. So
oh yeah, and like a Hell in a Cell match or something, but. Like a stipulation, like a Hell in a Cell match would work great for his character.
Yeah.
But I think it would be interesting if they went the Seth Rollins route, but I think it would be even more interesting and like would draw more people in if it was Braun Strowman.
Yeah, because they have a history with each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have yet to see a match between Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt. So.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because Braun Strowman, because the brand split happened, and Braun Strowman went to Raw after the brand split, and Bray Wyatt went to SmackDown. But then when Bray Wyatt went to Raw, his character was so shit that he wasn't a credible opponent for Braun Strowman.
Yeah, they basically never crossed paths again.
Yeah, except that one time on like when it was Raw versus SmackDown, like in 2016 in the fall. Because Bray like said something. I'm like, what happened to you? Because that's when like he became the monster among men. But other than that, they haven't crossed paths.
Yeah, they haven't crossed paths yet. Rey Mysterio had an interview.
Oh, but the Firefly Funhouse was the best thing all week.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It's so unique and so different.
Yes.
It's great. Rey Mysterio basically has an interview having up his return.
Yeah. I didn't think this was necessary.
Boring interview.
Yeah, this was. I thought this was unnecessary.
Go to the ring.
Yeah, he's going to the win. He's going to the win this week.
Does he have a match tonight?
Yeah, he does.
Like seriously, cut a fucking promo in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like you're conflicted about your fucking career, but like,
even though you wrestle the ring, even though you wrestling the best you ever have in like years, so it's like. Know. He's conflicted, man, though. Conflicted.
He's conflicted. The next, apparently on these notes, it's the Mix versus Cesaro.
Oh, crap. I messed that one up.
It's the Mix versus Cesaro.
Yep. I don't know who that is.
Cesaro can't Cesaro can't get a win.
No. He went on NXT UK TakeOver Cardiff and looked awesome, but then he lost heel in like less than 10 minutes. Like.
And lost to The Miz, who's been the weird babyface.
Yeah, I
love him as a babyface, but Jesus Christ.
I think Miz needs to go back to being a heel. This babyface run has been abysmal, though.
Yeah, because they killed it out of the gate.
Yeah. I just think
it was starting to build it up great. And then he lost to Shane.
And
then lost to Shane again.
Yeah.
And then he lost to Shane again.
I just think Miz is a natural heel too. Like he's
a natural heel, but he was heel for so long. It was nice to see him like switch the character up a little bit.
And now the character
works too because he gets over.
Well, not anymore.
Yeah, because they fucking killed it with the Shane McMahon feud.
Yeah.
If Shane won at WrestleMania, and then if Miz won in the steel cage match, I wouldn't have been as mad. Or vice versa. Like if Miz won the first big matchup between them, and then Shane gets the sneaky heelish victory in the steel cage, I wouldn't have been as mad. But considering the fact that he looked like a fucking chump in that steel cage match,
And then on SmackDown every week after that, he looks like a chump.
Oh, it's just so it's maddening what they're doing with him.
Yeah.
Because he's like a good babyface.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he's over with the crowd. It's working. It's just they fucking forgot how to book him properly.
Yeah, right. I think this heel one might be worse than his other one because at least he was booked somewhat properly.
Yeah, but it was this run is in my opinion is a little bit better because he's a little bit more over than the crowd. He's way more over the crowd than he was in that first run. I like both of them because it was something new. But like when he was a face the first time around, he never changed like his demeanor. It's like it was the same.
Yeah.
At least this time around, he's pandering to the crowd, which he didn't
Yeah.
do at all the last time. But anyway, main event time. Evans gets his win.
Not the show because we don't want to scare Chris away if he's thinking it's.
Oh yeah,
Chris...
I was about to hit I was about to hit that red button.
Yep. But then you realized it was just the main event of Raw, so you were fine.
Thank God. Becky Lynch and Bayley versus the not SmackDown, and not Raw, WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and was spotlighted, which I shocked it got the main event spot, but I know why now. And a champion showcase match as Becky Lynch and Bayley are both Raw and SmackDown Women's Champions.
And then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So,
well, according to the graphics, sometimes they're the Raw Women's Tag Team Championships.
Yeah, so they don't even know.
This is a very good match.
Yes,
but it's interrupted by Sasha Banks as expected. She comes out and starts beating the piss out of Becky, and Bayley comes in with a chair. Bayley comes in and takes a chair away.
Yep.
And showing loyalty to Sasha Banks, and she pummels Becky Lynch with the chair, much to everyone's fucking raucous cheers. Fucking blew the roof off the building, which wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, but still, it was definitely awesome. She finally turned heel because her character needed a heel turn.
But also too in SmackDown, it kind of we'll get to it, but it's a different. It's kind of the same, but it's like I don't know. I don't want to say too much of it because you're gonna review SmackDown. I don't want to give it away right away, but it's a welcome change. It's been needed.
Yep.
But overall, Raw was a very very solid show.
I thought so. Yeah.
Not good, not terrible, not great, but solid.
I give it a B.
If they keep doing this, they'll keep gaining an audience because they had the big shock in the end with Bayley turning heel, and the hyping up the next week's show too, which is in Madison Square Garden, which has been I don't even know how long, maybe a decade since they've been on. Not that since they've been to Madison Square Garden because they were there recently.
Yeah.
Like a year ago, but on television, this is the first Raw and SmackDown, and first time for 205 Live there, but first time for Raw and SmackDown at Madison Square Garden in over a decade.
Which I'm excited about because that would be a nice venue. That's a nice because the arena's gonna look different now and stuff.
Yeah. It's their it's basically their hometown.
Too bad tickets haven't been selling well though. So
I know, yeah, they tried to.
But yeah, what would you give it as a letter grade from an F being the worst or an A+ being the best?
C+.
Okay, I'm gonna go B-. I thought it was a good show. The only thing I heard it was the finish to Ricochet, Samoa Joe, the Viking Raiders, Lacey Evans, and the opening segment. But yeah, I'm gonna go B minus because
Yeah,
you have
it's
the
really in that range, like C plus B minus.
yeah
It was a very very solid show last week. I
yeah
keep last night thinking that and
I
then
know.
it's like
Then we have SmackDown for this week, September 3rd, 2019. Um, we had some WWE.com exclusives where they hyped up the show, talking about 5 things that are gonna happen. Um, Ali does an interview saying he's relying on his Hulk to defeat Elias. We'll get into that. And then Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are having a photo shoot, and Fire and Desire come up, and basically they make fun of them because they're just taking like high school class photos when Mandy Rose has been on like the cover of Muscle and Fitness. And Alexa Bliss makes fun of her by saying, that was like months ago and you're still talking about that. So Fire and Desire challenge them to a tag team match, and Nikki Cross just gets pissed off and accepts. So there you go. Um, then we had the actual show itself. We had Corey Graves, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton on commentary for this show. And it kicks right off with Bayley, which made sense because of what happened on, Raw last night.
yeah.
Um, and Bayley, um, you know, basically comes out and she's still acting the same. She still has the same theme song, the same wacky inflatable tube men. But she cuts a promo saying that she wants to be a champion that everyone can be proud of, and pretty much says that Becky Lynch has been overshadowing her. And Becky Lynch isn't the only one that wants to win prestige the title. And she also says that she's not surprised, but she's like surprised that everyone thought there was such a surprise that she double crossed Becky to side with Sasha Banks, even though she's been like best friends with Sasha Banks for like years. I guess since like 2015. Because kayfabe wise, they hated each other in 2015, despised each other. Um, and then Charlotte Flair comes out, and this was kind of weird because Charlotte Flair was still acting like a heel, by saying that she's gonna take the SmackDown Women's Championship from her, and then Sasha Banks comes out, and I like to like Bayley couldn't get anything on her. Like Charlotte Flair just immediately lays her out with a big boot. That was like pretty goddamn funny. And basically, it's a 2-on-1 situation, and Charlotte Flair gets hit right across the back with a chair. This might sound sexist, but it seems like women, especially when it comes to them, are very lenient to hit each other lighter with the steel chair than the men because you could just definitely see like with the way Sasha Banks and Bayley hit each other with the chair that it's lighter than when the males do it.
Yeah.
Because also it could be because I watch AEW and I watch other people just get smacked right across the back with a chair. So, but like it could just be them though, because like if we saw like people like Io Shirai and Candice LeRae, they would probably not hold back when it came to hitting each other with a steel chair.
They fucking wall up, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they basically lay out Charlotte Flair, and now it looks like Charlotte Flair is going to be a babyface, but I don't really know. That could be.
Yeah, I think that's the direction they're going with.
But I quite like this segment. I like Bayley's promo here. I thought at least they gave an explanation. It wasn't like the AJ thing where he went, "I don't have to give you an explanation," but they didn't have one. So, that would have been funny if every heel just did that. I don't have to give you an explanation of why I'm all of a sudden
do anything.
Because that's what AJ did. He just like went, "I don't have to give you an explanation." So, so Chris, if I turn heel on you, I don't have to give you an explanation, all right?
I guess so. I guess you don't have to.
If I just decide to come over your house and like hit you with a chair, I don't have to explain why. So,
I wish you would though.
Yeah, I bet Ricochet was worse than AJ did, but he didn't. So, yeah, I thought the segment was good. This sets up to that tag team match that that's happening tonight. A lot of people are complaining that a lot of the matches are happening on Raw, but I think they're trying to make this show as stacked as heavily since it's in Madison Square Garden. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
There you go. But I thought the segment was good. I give it a thumbs up. I was very worried because Bayley was still acting the same, but I guess it's like one of those things where it was like when Johnny Gargano turned heel, and he was like being like the anti-heel, and I guess Bayley's gonna do the same thing. But what did you think of this?
I thought she was gonna be more like heelish, but it kind of surprised me. But like, she's more tweener,
Yeah.
and she even said like she still wanted to be like a role model to the kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it just was really weird.
Yeah, it was weird. But I didn't hate it either, so
I didn't
uh,
hate it either.
so then we had the King of the Wind quarterfinals match, Ali versus Elias, the two guys that lost the, that lost part of their names, had a match, so that made sense. This should have been like winner gets their name back.
Gets their name back.
Yeah. But this match was very good. Elias like destroys Ali throughout much of this matchup. He tossed this poor dude around for like a while. He tossed him onto the floor, over the announcer's table, over the timekeeper's area, and he basically worked over the leg of Ali. But Ali found to come back. He hit a wicked suicide dive, a wicked, uh, you know, um, moonsault, and eventually he goes for a 450 splash, but Elias gets the knees up and he gets him in a submission, but Ali gets the ropes, but then Elias hits Drift Away for the win, and Elias wins. I thought that made sense. I was fine with Elias winning, but Ali I still thought looked very strong here, and this match I thought was very good. So there you go. What did you think of this?
I thought it was a very, very good matchup. I agree. With who won, should have been Elias.
Yes. Then Samoa Joe gets interviewed and basically says that he's here to scout the talent for the King of the Wind tournament. He thinks that it's bullshit that he has to be in a triple threat match. So, because he probably thinks it's bullshit because he knows he's taking the fall. So that's why he thinks it's bullshit. So, there you go.
Bullshit.
Then Aleister Black's backstage, and he says that if the mountain's not going to come to him, he's going to go to the mountain. Basically saying that he's going to, if someone's going to come fight him, he's going to go fight them. These promos of Aleister Black are getting very annoying. He should stop doing these because they're getting very cringy.
It's already well past the cringe point.
Yeah, like he should have stopped it. Like
someone just pick a fucking fight with him already.
Yeah. What do you think of these two backstage segments though?
They were okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I didn't like the Aleister Black one, so
I didn't like it either.
I guess he's going to the. I guess he went to the. I guess he went to the mountain. I guess the wind's now a mountain.
I guess so.
So then we had Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire. Didn't care for any of this. It's basically how WWE sets up feuds with champions, where the people who are gonna have the title match would just beat them in a non-title match. They can't come up with any creative ways to set up a title match. So
why would they do that?
Yeah. So this made no sense. Alexa Bliss is on a roll. She hits the DDT on Sonya Deville, and she goes for the Twisted Bliss. And Nikki Cross has Mandy Rose in a sleeper, and she just somehow that was a distraction. That was a distraction somehow. I don't know how it was. So then this allows Sonya Deville to clutch her on the apron, under the rope turnbuckles, and then Fire and Desire hit a high and low high knee leg sweep. And get the win. I didn't like any of this. The women's tag team titles at least are on TV, but they still mean nothing. So
exactly.
What did you think of this?
I didn't really like it. It just didn't interest me at all whatsoever.
Yeah. Now that's a match of Clash of Champions too. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire. Because every title's got to get defended at Clash Champions. That gimmick gets old because it seems like because WrestleMania they defended all the titles, and SummerSlam they defended most of the titles, so it's what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's no point of that pay-per-view because all the titles get defended anyways, so well, at least most of them. But it's the one night of the year where that happens. I guess WrestleMania that wasn't the one is out of the question.
It's completely out of the question.
Then Chad Gable was backstage getting ready for his King of the Wind qualifying match or whatever, and Samoa Joe comes up and makes fun of him because he's small. But I did like how he added to his promo by he didn't just make fun of him because he's small. He made fun of him because he's mentally small. So that made up for the promo. But I'm not interested with this feud of Chad Gable where they're just making fun of him because he's small. That makes like that's just you could just see that's like a Vince McMahon storyline.
Oh yeah,
which is completely outdated.
Tom Shorty.
Yeah, it's like completely outdated because Chad Gable's like probably the same size as like the new Daniel Bryan. Or like half of the cruiserweight. Why don't they go make fun of the whole cruiserweight division? They're small. Whatever. I liked it though because I like Joe on the mic. Even though he's losing Monday, so he could like we talked about, he's gonna talk and talk, but he's not gonna back it up in the win. So
he's gonna do the exact opposite.
Maybe for the rest of his life he'll just be silent and just lose.
Maybe be silent and win.
That'd be better. What did you think of this?
Again, I thought it's comedy.
Yeah,
it's meant to make people laugh. It's stupid that it's Chad Gable and his fucking lesbian haircut. He needs to grow his fucking hair again, and he needs to fucking put on the singlet because that's Chad Gable.
Yeah,
not whoever the fuck this person is.
Then we had Randy Orton promo. He comes out and says that Kofi Kingston's stupid for falling for all his tricks. And he says that he's going to take joy out of taking the championship from him in front of the fans and all of his family. And then he calls out Kofi Kingston so that way he can get Clash Champions done early. The Kofi Kingston's theme song hits, but then he doesn't come out. We're left questioning what happened, and we see that the Revival are attacking Kofi Kingston, and Kofi Kingston's doing the best he can to fight him off, but it's 3-on-1. So but I did like the bit where Randy Orton just continuously said stupid and did the Randy Orton stomps. That was awesome. But then the Revival and Randy Orton hit a super RKO on him, and that was it. This was fine, but nothing new we hadn't seen before. Getting kind of sick of this feud, and I don't think the feud's going to be over at Clash of Champions, so I think that it's going one more show. Kofi Kingston's title reign is getting a little stale. I talked about this before. I think Kofi Kingston should have won it and lost it fairly quickly because it's the thrill of the chase is better than the title reign itself. And that's basically what's happened with Kofi Kingston here. So what did you think of this?
It's so perplexing to me because how many weeks in a row have we seen that flapjack RKO?
We've seen it a lot.
And it makes Kofi look stupid. Every single fucking week, it's the same goddamn thing over and over and over and over again. Randy says something. Kofi comes out. Kofi gets beaten down. Week in, week out. If Randy wins on Clash of Champions, I'm not going to be mad. It's like they basically killed all of Kofi's momentum.
Yeah.
I mean, him look so fucking weak in this feud. But yeah, it's all right, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of it.
No. Then we had
the team. I like the team of the Revival and Randy Orton though.
Yeah, I actually want them to win all the gold. I want to see them win all the gold.
Yeah.
That would, I as WWE champion with this gimmick because he's been pretty awesome, and the Revival could win the titles, but we've seen what we've been down that road before. They'll lose every match they're ever in probably. So they're not allowed to win matches.
Why would they?
That's illegal. Then we had Andrade with Zelina Vega versus Chad Gable in another King of the Ring quarterfinals match. Before the match starts, Zelina Vega cuts a promo saying that she admires Chad Gable, because they're both basically the same height, even though they're not, because Zelina Vega's a lot shorter than Chad Gable.
The midget.
So Zelina Vega says, I would love your story. I would pick you to win if you weren't facing Andrade right now. So the match starts. It was actually a very competitive match. I really enjoyed it. I think this is the first time these two have ever faced off. Chad Gable's about to get the win with the rolling German suplex. But Zelina Vega distracts the referee, but the interference didn't work. Chad Gable got the win with the roll-up anyways. And a lot of people complain about this because it's Andrade being used like crap, but I actually like this. It's a nice underdog story for Chad Gable to have. And then sometimes in tournaments, you got to have those surprise wins, and Chad Gable, I think, provides that. So
I agree with that.
I don't really understand why people are complaining. I guess it's because it's Andrade, but not like Andrade's career was going to change that much anyways if he won this match. So it's like, whatever. Like he could have lost the next match and people would have complained. So, and it's not like too, he lost in 3 seconds. He lost in a highly competitive match.
Yeah.
So
it made me laugh because when Chad Gable came out, he came out to fucking crickets. But when he won the match with the roll up, the place went crazy.
Yeah.
But they also saw a really good match too, also. So.
Yeah. Now next week in the semifinals, it's going to be that triple threat with Baron Corbin, Ricochet, and Joe on Raw, and then on SmackDown, because they remember the brand split existed during this tournament, I guess.
I guess so.
On SmackDown, it's going to be Elias versus Chad Gable, so I'm actually fairly interested in that. And I hope what happens is Ricochet wins, the triple threat, and Elias beats Chad Gable because anyone but Baron Corbin, or Joe beats, Joe wins the triple threat, and Gable beats Elias. But I feel like, the King of the Ring gimmick's not really going to fit. I feel like that won't really fit Joe's character at all. So,
or Joe wins, and then he loses to Gable.
I know, yeah, right? And then Chad Gable's the King of the Ring. That wouldn't make any sense either. So, I feel like it has to be Elias. Because if it's Baron Corbin, then the whole tournament is a flop. So
I've heard from multiple sources that people are against Vince pushing Baron Corbin. They're trying to steer him away from it. From pushing Baron Corbin.
Maybe they're gonna give him say we'll give you some money if you don't push Baron. We'll all chip in and give you money so you don't push Baron Corbin.
We'll literally pay you. Even though you're a billionaire, we'll literally pay you.
We'll work
forfeit a paycheck.
We'll work for free. That's all you have to. I feel like that's all you have to say backstage. We'll work for free for 3 weeks if you don't push Baron Corbin.
Vince just peeks his head out the door. Someone say free?
Yeah, right. It's like that cartoon where someone says that and then he's like, "Did someone say free?" Or Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. Anyone someone talks about money, you just see Mr. Krabs randomly pop out with his cash register or whatever. It's that all over again. Then we had not Elias, Aleister Black versus a mystery person. It was Shelton Benjamin, so we knew who was winning this match. I thought though, even though the match was really short, this was a stiff match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just wish the match could have been longer, and I really don't like the way Shelton Benjamin's being used. I know he's a veteran and he's putting people over, but he's basically enhancement talent, so I don't like that. Aleister Black wins with the black mask, which makes sense. So now he's just going to go back to wanting people to pick a fight with him. And
in a room.
Yeah. Maybe I should do that. Whatever. What do you think of this?
It's all right. I mean, again, right person won.
Yeah.
He kicked his face off. It looked cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then this was fun. Drake Maverick's backstage, and he's trying to escape with the 24/7 championship, but he's with Renee Michelle, but he's in the boiler room. So a ton of superstars were hiding there. The Sin Brothers pop out and try to pin him for the 24/7 championship. But the best part of it was you see Grand Metalik slide over in a quit, trying to.
One of the carrying cases.
Why was that not a GIF? I'm surprised that was not a GIF. I'm actually kind of disappointed with everyone that was not a GIF. Or GIF, however you say it.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then Curtis Axel tries to pin him, but he doesn't get. But Drake Maverick kicks out, and then Bo Dallas pops out and rolls him up, and he wins the 24/7 title, and he takes off. and Drake Maverick now can't consummate his marriage because he does not the 24/7 champion. So, I guess they didn't consummate it within that week because he had a whole week, and I guess
apparently Aunt Flo came to visit.
Yeah.
On a period.
So and now because of this, because I know because I'm doing the history of the 24/7 championship videos, Bo Dallas is now the youngest 24/7 champion in history at 29 years and 100 days old, 101 days old actually. So
was it Cedric was the original youngest? Or
yeah, but he's like he's 30, so I think he's like I think him and Cedric Alexander are like roughly the same age.
Yes, Cedric's like a year older, I think.
Yeah, so there you go. Then we had a match. What do you think of this backstage segment, by the way?
I loved it.
Yeah, it was funny. Quite fun.
You could just really tie them all into one, too, because they really all happened like almost.
Yeah. So then next, what happens is after a match, which we'll talk about that match when we get there, Bo Dallas is trying to escape with the title, and Curtis Axel is actually like protecting Bo Dallas, which I kind of liked. And eventually Drake Maverick pins Bo Dallas, and he wins the 24/7 championship. So he's like, I think like a 4-time 24/7 champion now, or 5-time, I forget. And then you think Drake Maverick's going to escape with the title, but then you see R-Truth like disguised as as a lamppost, like in the King of the Ring setup, and R-Truth rolls up Drake Maverick, and he wins the 24/7 championship, and he takes off backstage, and he hasn't lost it yet, so because if he had lost it, we would have seen it. So so I like this. All of this 24/7 championship stuff was quite fun. It's fun. It's good, funny stuff. And they're saying I'm actually looking forward to this because they're saying the 24/7 title is going to be defended at Clash of Champions. If it leads to a lot of these fun segments of Clash of Champions, it could make Clash of Champions more enjoyable. So, because that title's changing hands several times throughout that show.
Definitely not.
What did you think now included with both like the part with R-Truth and stuff like that?
I love the entire thing, and I love the fact that now R-Truth is a 14-time 24/7 champion.
Yep, he has the
14 fucking times he's been champion.
And how long this belt's been around since what, like May
20th, 2019.
Yeah,
and he's a 14-time champion.
Yep,
he's about to fucking break Ric Flair's record.
Oh yeah, the world titles. Yeah. He should after that he should call himself the Man. I don't think Ric Flair would like that too much. By the way, I wonder if WWE is going to continuously say the Man now in spite of.
They will. I know they will.
Yeah.
You kidding me? Vince isn't going to back down.
Yeah. Because you'd be surprised, James Hebert actually is signing with WWE on this one. So there you go. So then we had the match that took place before the 24/7 title debacle. It was Shinsuke Nakamura with Sami Zayn, and he was facing some enhancement talent. We never found out his name. Sami Zayn cuts a promo, and he says, Shinsuke Nakamura's gonna use his oath on Andrew Howard, and then we find out the guy's like, yeah, my name's not Andrew Howard. So he's like, well, your name for now is going to be The Miz, because The Miz is facing Shinsuke Nakamura at Clash of Champions. And basically the whole match is Shinsuke Nakamura beating the crap out of this guy while Sami Zayn, is like cheering him on through the microphone and stuff. This is pretty damn awesome stuff. I even love to when he went for his run and attack, Sami Zayn was cheering like we know what's coming here, guys, come on. And then he does the King Sasha, which Sami Zayn calls very greatly, and Shinsuke Nakamura wins. And I never thought that I would actually love this pairing of Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. It's quite awesome, and I hope this lasts for eternity because Sami Zayn is great in this role. It sucks he can't wrestle, but I feel like this is a better role for him because if he's wrestling right now, the Sami tally on ups and downs is going to keep going up and up and up. We don't want that happening. So I loved it. What did you think of this? This I don't even think this really was a match, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I loved it. I love the pairing. It's great.
I bet you love Sami Zayn too. You're freaking out about Shinsuke Nakamura too.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Then we had the face-off with the new Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, and pretty much, in my opinion, this storyline just completely jumped the shark. Because the new Daniel Bryan comes out and he demands an apology from Roman Reigns because he didn't know that Eric Rowan was a part of, trying to kill Roman Reigns pretty much. So Roman Reigns comes out and he gets jumped from behind by Eric Rowan, who's just Eric Rowan now, by the way, randomly has his name back.
Yep, he's Eric.
And he beats the crap out of Roman Reigns, and we find out that he's not working with, the new Daniel Bryan anymore because he just gives him a shove. And the new Daniel Bryan, dies for a while. And then Eric Rowan beats the crap out of Roman Reigns. And he says, that he's not going to be controlled by anybody anymore, and he dares the new Daniel Bryan to try to attack him. But obviously the new Daniel Bryan chooses not to. So he says that at Clash of Champions, what you're going to get from me, Roman, is far worse. Never, though, did we have any explanation about why he was trying to kill Roman Reigns. Great stuff. He just went. I feel like the WWE didn't have a plan, so they just went with Eric Rowan. So that was pretty goddamn lame. Then he throws Roman into the steps, hits him off the head with the steps, and then he hits the Iron Claw. He went to do it to Roman Reigns, but the new Daniel Bryan intervenes, and he gets Iron Clawed through the announcer's table. And yeah, pretty much, this, all of this sucked. The fact that it was Eric Rowan, it's the whole I did it for the Rock thing all over again, pretty much, where it was Rikishi. This was lame. And this storyline really was just a huge waste of time. So I didn't like any of this. And yeah, the fact that we're getting Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan, I'm not interested in that at all. It just feels like they don't want to put Roman back in the main event scene, so they're trying to find something to do with him. So they're doing Eric Rowan. That's pretty pathetic. So the main event of SmackDown, I did not enjoy. What did you think of the main event of SmackDown?
I have a differing opinion. I really loved this main event. I fucking loved it. I thought it was awesome.
There you go.
I'm really into the storyline. I really love the storyline. And it's giving Eric Rowan a push. You can't have, it's great. I just love the storyline so much. And the fact that we could be getting a Yes movement back.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Think about it. He got Iron Claw chokeslammed through the table. And basically said that he doesn't need Daniel Bryan anymore. And I heard a rumor go around that they could be, recycling Harper and Rowan again.
Oh yeah, because Harper's technically not released yet, so
yeah.
Hopefully that happens.
That'd be cool. That'd be all. I would like to see that.
And if the Desperate comes back, I would like that. But to me, that wouldn't save this storyline. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But that was SmackDown for this week. I thought SmackDown was good. I'll give it a B-. I like the King of the Ring qualifying match. Actually, no. I thought it was okay. I give it a C because I didn't like the Randy Orton stuff. I didn't like the women's tag, and I didn't like Aleister Black just doing nothing. But, I liked the King of the Ring stuff. I liked the 24/7 title stuff. And, those other things I liked on it. But it was definitely not better than Raw, so I'm going to go C+. What are you going?
I give it a C+ also. I liked this week's episode. A lot of stuff that I didn't care about, the majority of the stuff. We have a different opinion on the main event, but other than that, we pretty much agree on the rest of the show.
Yes. Now on to 205 Live, which
doesn't matter.
Chris can't really talk about because he didn't see the show, so I'll just talk about it real quick. It took place on the same day as SmackDown. It actually showed some aftermath of what happened with Eric Rowan's destruction of Roman Reigns and the new Daniel Bryan. Because basically, 205 Live airs right afterwards, so they had to, basically show the carnage.
Yeah.
Then Drake Maverick, Lince Dorado, and Humberto Carrillo are backstage, and Lince Dorado and Humberto Carrillo are having a match in the main event, and not the show, so don't click off. Don't be scared.
I'm clicking off.
No, don't be scared. And Drake Maverick, though, realized, because Lince Dorado said, like, he hasn't really had many opportunities in the Cruiserweight division, and he's been, like, a part of it since day one. Drake Maverick is going to give Lince Dorado an opportunity where if he beats Humberto Carrillo, he's going to turn the Cruiserweight Championship match into a triple threat match. And yeah, this was filmed earlier in the day too, so this was filmed before he like lost the 24/7 title, because it wouldn't have made any sense if he had filmed this like right after he lost the 24/7 championship. So
yeah.
I like this segment though, set up the main event. Then we had the first match. It was Tony Nese versus Mike Kanellis. Maria Kanellis was watching this matchup backstage because the main roster forgot about this storyline, but 205 Live didn't. So, there's that. This match was very good. Tony Nese and Mike Kanellis, they were selling the fact that they really haven't been on the win column as of late. They've been kind of floundering because, Tony Nese really hasn't been doing a lot since he lost the title. And Mike Kanellis, basically, life's a living hell where his wife's treating him like crap and he can't get any opportunities. So this was a chance for them to make up for that. And they had a very good match. And then Mike Kanellis wins with the Swin and Neckbreaker, which I quite enjoyed. And yeah, Tony Nese afterwards was frustrated about the loss, and that ties into the rest of the show. Then Lince Dorado's backstage, and Ariya Daivari comes up, and they've been doing a storyline, as I said lately, with Lince Dorado, where Ariya Daivari is trying to get him to say that like he's more important than the rest of the members of Lucha House Party, and Lince Dorado sees right through what Ariya Daivari is trying to do. And he says that thanks to him, the Lucha House Party really has been like really not seen eye to eye lately. So he said that he's going to win this match tonight, win the Cruiserweight title, and then he's going to make up with the Lucha House Party. So I guess Lince Dorado doesn't care if the Lucha House Party's all good as long as he's champion. So there's that. He's got to be champion though. So then the Sin Brothers are backstage. And basically, they're doing like a reflection thing via Hollywood or Bollywood movies since they're from, India. And they said that where everything started going wrong for them was when they lost to the Brian Kendrick and Akira Tozawa. So we're going to continue to reflect, and we're going to come back better than ever. So I like this. It gives the Sin Brothers something to do. But I keep saying this, if you're going to have them in the Cruiserweight division, they should have Cruiserweight Championship tag titles because... really, there's nothing for them to do if there's no tag team titles. Then we had Akira Tozawa and the Brian Kendrick versus Brandon Scott and Tyler Haston. I believe this was the same guy that was in that Viking Raiders squash match. And if you would guess, was he got squashed again? He did. This time, though, they got some offense in because, they weren't scared of the Viking Raiders. So, Akira Tozawa and the Brian Kendrick win with like some type of double team sliced bread. And afterwards, Akira Tozawa and the Brian Kendrick cut a promo on Gentleman Jack Gallagher because he hasn't been medically cleared to wrestle. But we find out that next week, which is this week, he's cleared to wrestle. So in Madison Square Garden, they challenged Gentleman Jack Gallagher to find a tag team partner and face them. I don't think it's going to be the main event, but in a match next week. So there's that.
Did you say main event?
No, I didn't. I said last match on the show. I quite like the squash match. It was a nice way to build up Akira Tozawa and the Brian Kendrick. Then Oney Lorcan gets interviewed, and he goes to talk about his loss with Humberto Carrillo, but then he hears that Tony Nese is frustrated, and Oney Lorcan, since he's been there before, tries to, calm him down. But Tony Nese just beats the crap out of him. Basically, Tony Nese just turned heel here. So there's more to that later, though. And then we had the last match on the show. I almost messed that one up. Lince Dorado versus Humberto Carrillo. And if Lince Dorado wins, he gets added to the Cruiserweight Championship match at Clash of Champions. I almost said if Humberto Carrillo wins, Lince Dorado gets added to the match. That wouldn't have made any sense.
Yeah.
Because Humberto Carrillo would just lose on purpose, hopefully. But this was a very, very, very fun match. It's Lince Dorado and Alberto Carrillo. They're obviously destined to have a fun match. And Lince Dorado gets a win with a roll-up, so he is now added to the Cruiserweight Championship match at Clash of Champions. So now it's Lince Dorado versus Alberto Carrillo versus Drew Gulak. Afterwards, Drew Gulak attacks Lince Dorado from behind, and Alberto Carrillo comes up and tries to make the save. But then who comes up? None other than Tony Nese. And Tony Nese and Drew Gulak form an alliance. This is basically back to what they were doing in the original stages of the Cruiserweight division in 205 Live. And Tony Nese hits the running Nese on Lince Dorado, or I think it was Alberto Carrillo. And then Drew Gulak hits the Cyclone Clash on Alberto Carrillo and stands tall with the title with Tony Nese. And now Tony Nese and Drew Gulak are some type of tag team, which I like. I like the fact that Tony Nese is a heel because he basically kind of did everything that he did as a babyface, and it makes sense for him to go heel. And I think Tony Nese just fits better as a heel anyways. Him being a babyface was kind of weird. So there's that. And afterwards, Drake Maverick was backstage with Lince Dorado and Alberto Carrillo. And I like that he even says, like, we all had a tough night because it was the same night where he lost, the 24/7 championship. So he makes a match for this week between Lince Dorado and Alberto Carrillo versus Drew Gulak and Tony Nese. And that's going to be the last episode of 205 Live before, Clash of Champions. And I'll be like Noah, better not be on the kickoff show. But it's going to be on the kickoff show, so there's nothing I can do about it.
Because 205 Live doesn't matter.
I'm going to have Noah come on here next week, and I dared to say that to his face. Yeah, I got you quiet now, didn't it? But I thought 205 Live...
Don't you worry.
205 Live I thought was an awesome show. You had awesome matches, and you had some nice setups for next week. I like the Tony Nese heel turn, so I'll give it an A-. I thought it was the best show out of the 3 shows. Hearing how 205 Live was, what letter grade would you give it?
B+.
There you go. Before we end off, let's talk about the possible brand split that's coming up, because that's been kind of the big news for this week. They announced the Superstar Shake-Up brand split episode on the October 11th edition of SmackDown, which I think is going to be kind of cool, but I don't really know how to really make of it, because we really haven't heard them themselves. It's only been reported. We don't really know how true this is. But I quite like the idea of them doing the brand split again, because there's really no point of having this many titles and stuff. And I like the brand split, so yeah, let's see if they actually go with it. I hope it's not one of those things where they do the brand split and then they forget about it 3 months later. But yeah, I like it. What are your thoughts on the brand split coming back?
I like it.
Yeah, there you go. And everyone's question, huh?
I like it a lot. Yeah.
So from what I'm reading too, they're gonna do the brand split itself on SmackDown, and then on Raw they're gonna do a Superstar Shake-Up show or something. Which that doesn't make any sense. Why would you make a brand split and then change up the rosters around anyways? That doesn't make any sense. Hopefully that's not true. But yeah, as for maybe we'll do something because it's still early. Where we'll do something where we think who's gonna go on each brand, or are they just gonna because I'm assuming they're gonna put someone, because some people going I think Brock Lesnar, because it's on Fox, is gonna go to SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because I feel him going to SmackDown is better anyways, because he's been on Raw for a long time, so I think it makes sense for him to make the change to SmackDown, because there's a lot of... Can you imagine he just goes on SmackDown and all the opponents that he would face that he faced on Raw just go to SmackDown anyways? Then that's not really changing anything. It's just basically him on Raw all over again. But yeah, I like it. So everyone has to question now too, what are you gonna do? Because that's the time you're supposed to stop watching wrestling, because Saudi Arabia is right around the corner. Everybody relax, guys. Because Chris, apparently people don't know how to relax.
You don't know how to relax.
What's gonna happen is I'm gonna watch that episode, and that will be that. So, I mean, I'm assuming, Chris, you're going to do the same thing. You're not going to watch any shows like prior to Saudi Arabia, except that brand split episode. Like,
maybe.
you know.
Who knows? I might just watch even Saudi Arabia.
Ooh, you might watch the Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah.
You might have to take over host of the rundown then, because I'm not reviewing that show or talking about it. So,
well, it looks like I'm not reviewing and talking about it either.
So, someone's got to do it. Somebody has to do it. Maybe Noah Foster will do it. He probably won't be pushing for the cruiserweights again on that show, though. But anyhow, that's the end of the rundown. We really have nothing left to talk about. Unless there's anything you want to talk about, Chris, that we didn't talk about.
No, we talked about all that we needed to talk about it.
Yeah. So we got to do the plugs and the promotion. So we'll start with Chris first because he has the least amount of things to plug and promote.
Catch me. Not figuratively. Not literally. Figuratively.
You said you already messed up. You said
I'm gonna figuratively be caught here. On the Wrestling Rundown, whenever the fuck we do the show, watch me. Please watch us. It's great content. And the Retro Wrestling Review series, where the next show we'll be reviewing is it's your pick, right?
Yeah, it's my pick first.
Yep. And next would be mine, and then James, and then Noah, or Noah then James. I forget.
Actually, I'm making a change because since Clash of Champions is this week, I figured it makes sense for James to get the next one since his is a Clash of Champions prediction.
Okay.
So you gotta wait. You gotta wait a little longer.
That's fine. That's fine by me because I'm not gonna be on anyway. So.
Yeah.
But make sure to tune in and watch those shows, and most importantly, you see that description box down there underneath the video? You might want to click it, which says show more, because that's where you'll find me. I'll be in that box. You click on my name, and it'll bring you to my socials.
Yep.
And that's where you can follow me. And we have a very important video that just went out recently. 2,000. Not 1,000. 2,000. Videos on Wrestling Fortune 44. You know, this channel that you're on right now, watching it on, if it's not, alright, if it's on CM Brothers, then it's not, this is not 1,000 videos on this channel. 2,000 videos either. 2,000. If watch it on here, it's on Wrestling Fortune 44. Make sure you like it. Don't dislike it. If you dislike it, I'll find you and might not be here anymore.
Not like you gotta know who you dislike. Imagine like it's like it's like Steve that dislikes it. Like
kill him. Harvest his organs.
Wow.
Make sure to watch that video, like it, comment, subscribe, thumbs up, bell button. Smash that fucking bell button so you know when we post. And then click on the video and watch it because it's great content.
Yep. And make sure, Chris, if this is for you, you're back here at 6 o'clock to review the first episode of NXT in Full Sail University. If you're not here, I'm calling you on your phone repeatedly until you pick up.
What if I don't want it?
You're already committed, so you'll hurt my feelings.
What if I'm committed to an insane asylum instead?
Well, then we'll work around it. You'll do a video at the insane asylum if we have to. But also there's other because I don't have to plug this channel now because Chris already did it. So make sure you check out my own Talkinator YouTube channel for all my non-wrestling YouTube videos. The most recent video, me and my cousin reviewed SpongeBob SquarePants Season 2 episodes 15 through 18, so make sure you guys check those out. They're quite fun. And make sure you check out CM Brothers. We're coming on 400 videos on that channel, so we have a fairly special video that we'll do for that. We're not doing a tribute video because I'm not taking all that time and editing that again because I I just did that, so we're not doing that. Yeah, make sure you check out. We recently just uploaded 2 videos: Red vs. Blue Season 4 review and Red vs. Blue Out of Mind review. And you should either this week or next week see Red vs. Blue Season 5 and the miniseries review. So make sure you guys check those out. And that's pretty much it, guys. We will talk to you guys later.